Hello friends, this is Krishna and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to see how to do CRUD operations in Angular, and this is part 1 of that. We'll see how to get the data from the API. So we have created an API for API in Web API for getting the data from the database. So you can see here, if you are not watched how to uh, write the backend APIs for getting data from the database, then I will give the link in the description box. So you can go back to my channel and watch how to create the backend APIs. And we have to create API slash. This is the controller name, categories slash. This is the method name. So you can see here we got all the data. So we have to create this one in Angular, this part in Angular. So let's start our tutorial. So you can see here this is the URL we have to create, and first we have to take this one and we have to go to environment.ts file, and here we have to create API UO endpoint column. So we have to store this endpoint here because in future if you want to change the endpoint, you can change here directly. So now we have to go to API service. This service.ts is used for calling the APIs. So before going that, we have to go to app module.ts and we have to import HTTP client module here. If you don't know about client HTTP client module, you can see here. So this HTTP client module is used for communicating with the remote server or over HTTP, and HTTP is in Angular is used for performing the HTTP requests. So we have to import this HTTP client in our component and HTTP client module in app module.ts. So you can see here I have imported this. Then you have to go to API service, and here we have to import environment.ts file. Environment from in that we have to import a development environment. So we will have two environment files. One is for production and one is for development. If you want to change anything in the development, you can change here. In the production, if you want to change anything, you can change here. Now we will move to app service.ts. Now we will create a URL here, public API URL equal to environment dot whatever API endpoint we have created here, plus we have to use API. As you can see, next we have to create API here. So I have used this and created API here. Now we have to create a variable named get categories. So here we are getting categories list. So I'm creating get categories here. Now in the get categories, we have to create this one. We have to add all these in the get categories. So for that we have to use this So we are creating a string here, API URL and categories slash get. So you can write API here also, but in case if you want to change this API slash API in your project, then you can change here instead of changing everywhere. You can change here directly. So let's copy this and go to categories component.ts, and here we have to import HTTP client. This HTTP client is used to perform the requests like get, post, etc. So I'm pasting here, and we have to copy this and inject this into constructor public HTTP colon HTTP client, and after this we have to import API here, API service. So I'm importing that. So you can see I have imported this API service file in the app component.ts. Sorry, in the categories component.ts, and after that we have to inject that service here, public service API service, just like this. Next you have to create a method to get the categories, and whenever I go to categories, whenever I click on categories, I want to get the category list. So I am placing this method into ng on it. So whenever this component gets called, this method will be fired. So I want to store all the data in the categories list. Categories colon any equal to some empty array. So I want to store all the data in the categories. Here I want to call the service, this dot service dot get categories. So this dot service dot get of sorry, we have to use HTTP for making request, and in that request we have to use whatever the URL we have created. So dot subscribe, we have to subscribe that, and I want to store that whatever the data coming from the API in the categories equal to res like this, and after that I want to show data in console. You can see, so I'm printing data in the console. Now let's open the browser and check whether it's working or not. Open the browser, you can check here. Whenever I click on categories, I want to get the data in the console. So you can check here, we have got three data. One is books, ebooks and books. And if you see the database, books, ebooks and books like this. So this is the end of this tutorial, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And in the next video, we are going to see how to post the data, how to post categories data into the database using API. So thank you, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.